With the Dragon Ball Super movie having already premiered, it's no secret anymore that Fusion is back to being a big highlight in the series. All the hype is around Gogeta Blue and Broly right now, but even if Dragon Ball Super does come back, there's no telling if or when we'll ever see Gogeta Blue again. Not only is this technique usually a last resort, but Vegeta has never really been too fond of the idea of fusing with Goku. But when an enemy shows up that neither Goku nor Vegeta can defeat separately, what choice do they have? This is a story called Dragon Ball EX, and it takes place between the future Trunks and First Universal Tournament. Over in Universe 6, Bleed, the brother of Frost, has suddenly appeared on that universe's Earth. When he shows up, he deals with Kappa pretty easily, even in his Super Saiyan 2 form, and by barely escaping, he's able to travel to Universe 7 in order to ask Goku and Vegeta for help. When they get back to Universe 6, Goku and Vegeta head off to confront Bleed while Kabe goes to secure the Dragon Balls. When they appear before him, however, Goku is sure to take note that this opponent has to be pretty strong in order to take down Kaba, who is a Super Saiyan 2 at this point. Vegeta fights him first, but once Bleed undergoes his final transformation and still easily defeats the both of them, the only choice they have left now is Fusion. And before Bleed reaches them to finish them off, Gogeta is born. If you want to keep up with more awesome stories just like this one, be sure to go join the Dragon Ball Fan Manga Facebook page down below and subscribe here for more. Bleed has no idea what just happened as he looks on at this new warrior standing before him. Gogeta, however, pronounces himself as the person that will put an end to Bleed's plans. Kaba is frozen solid from the sheer pressure of Gogeta's ki as he tries to grasp how such power is even possible from a fusion. Gogeta asks for a sensu bean since both Goku and Vegeta were pretty beat up when they fused. Gogeta eats the sensu bean, and when he's back at full power, he just smirks. Bleed, however, plans to end this fight in the blink of an eye, and he begins to throw another huge supernova down at the ground below right at Gogeta. Gogeta doesn't even give him the chance to and appears before him and grabs his arm before he can even release the attack. With one punch, Gogeta is able to deal solid damage to Bleed, so much so that it actually stuns him momentarily. Gogeta, still only in his base form, is completely overpowering Bleed as we see him moving at a speed almost too fast for any of them to follow, landing multiple punches. He lands a fierce uppercut that sends Bleed flying as he looks on at the former threat, almost in pity. Kaba is having the time of his life watching this awesome display of power, but Gogeta reminds him of his mission and that he needs to get far away from here. Once Kaba is gone, Gogeta is able to use his full power in order to deal with Bleed now, and that's exactly what he prepares to do as we see him here. And in the next panel, he says that it's time to erase every trace of Bleed. Mid-technique, Gogeta goes Super Saiyan Blue and begins to show off a new technique, the God Big Bang Kamehameha. When he launches the attack, at first look, it would appear that Bleed is done for as he takes the attack head on and the entire area is engulfed in an explosion. When the smoke clears, however, Bleed is still in the same position with his hands raised over his head, and the ground around him has been all destroyed. Even Gogeta is shocked that Bleed was able to withstand that attack, although it seems to have taken a bit of energy from him, seeing as how he's now back in his previous form. As Gogeta prepares his final attack to finish this, Bleed pulls off a quick enough attack in order to buy him some time. When he rises into the air, it looks like he begins to power up once more, and Gogeta says that if he plans on showing his true form, to hurry it up. Bleed begins to undergo yet another transformation. What we see next appears to be a golden version of Bleed, as Gogeta remarks the same thing. When Bleed approaches, however, he's a lot stronger than Gogeta initially thought. He's still pretty outmatched, but when Gogeta makes yet another statement about hurrying this fight up, the limits of the fusion technique become apparent to Bleed. The fight goes on for a while, and while Gogeta assures that the time limit isn't a factor in defeating someone like Bleed, underestimating him could prove fatal, as Golden Bleed seems to be able to at least hang with Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta for the time being. After sending Gogeta flying below him, Bleed fires a much faster version of Frieza's death ball below at Gogeta, but he responds immediately with another God Big Bang Kamehameha. As the two attacks clash, even though Gogeta may have been stronger from the start, Golden Bleed has certainly put up a fierce battle. However, Goku and Vegeta would never let the Earth be destroyed by the likes of him. This is when Bleed reveals the true nature of his plan, as he says that after using such a large-scale attack twice, after this attack, Gogeta should have been depleted of all of his power and thus draining him of his fusion as well. And then Bleed pours even more energy into his attack. In order to combat this assault, Gogeta has no choice at this point but to go even further, and before the attack engulfs him, we see him shout, "Kaio-Ken." Gogeta completely nullifies Bleed's attack as the two cancel each other out in a massive explosion. Before Bleed has time to react, however, Gogeta instant transmissions to him and begins the battle again without even giving him a chance to breathe. Even though Bleed has used a ton of energy as well, he's still able to keep up with Gogeta at this point. As the two begin their final battle, there is no longer a clear winner as the gap in power between these two has seemingly closed and quite a bit. Eventually, Bleed lands a solid hit on Gogeta with all of his might, but it doesn't even budge him, as Gogeta just grins and then kicks Bleed away. Visibly shaken by fighting such a powerful opponent, Bleed begins to show signs of backing down, but much like Frost Demons have been known to do in the past, when backed into a corner, Bleed begins to attack wildly and releases an energy blast at point blank range. When the smoke clears, however, it would appear that all Bleed managed to do was waste even more energy, as he stands there exhausted after that outburst, and Gogeta still stands, saying that the outcome of their battle has already been decided. As Gogeta raises his hand into the air for his final attack, energy in the form of sparkles begin to appear in his hand. In his hand, Gogeta wields the Soul Punisher technique, but as he charges Bleed in order to destroy him indefinitely, Gogeta defuses. As a result of using the God Big Bang Kamehameha twice, as well as Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-Ken, the fusion was extinguished ahead of time, which is exactly what Bleed planned for. Then he begins the assault as he attacks Vegeta first, breaking his arm. With Vegeta out of commission for now, Goku is on his own in a battle with Golden Bleed, as even Bleed says that it doesn't look good for Goku being injured and without Vegeta now. Goku, however, doesn't seem shaken at all, as he says that he still feels like he has a pretty good chance to beat Bleed. His bluff gets called as Bleed lands a devastating punch to the stomach, but Goku is able to recover and he starts to hold his own for a second. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that Bleed is just too strong, and as Goku gets sent back into the earth, the last hope that they had at defeating Bleed diminishes. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I am so hyped that we got part 3 of this story so fast. A huge shout out to all of the homies over in the Dragon Ball Fan Manga Discord. Those guys are awesome and they all work so hard in order to create awesome work like this. So if you want to be more involved in the fan manga community, be sure to join the Discord, which will be linked down in the description box below, as well as in the comment section. Also, down in the comments, let me know how you all felt about seeing some Gogeta Blue action in a story. I really wish he was able to finish off Bleed, to be honest, but seeing how he didn't, that just means we're gonna get a longer story, so it's a win-win. Anyways, have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.